Hi, it's Hitesh from GDPR Tracker. I just want to use this time today just to go through the GDPR Tracker application and how it can not only get you compliant but also help you stay compliant too. So I think, as you know, GDPR came into effect on the 25th of May 2018, and it basically impacts businesses of all shapes and sizes in terms of how they process personal data. So I guess it's really given the original sort of Data Protection Act teeth, as people are saying, and it also impacts not only people in the EU but also people globally too. Uh, so yes, let's get started. So when you first log into the GDPR tracker, you'll be presented with the tracker screen. On the left-hand side here, we actually list all the various articles of the GDPR. As you can see, there's definitely quite a few to go through. But what we try and do is help you step through each of the articles and answer some specific questions around that to help you become compliant as well. So if we go through the personal and sensitive data section, it will start to ask you questions which should relate to your business. So, for example, are you processing personal data? What type of personal data are you processing? Etc. Now, what this will also do is, as well as just ticking the box and saying yes or no, you'll actually be given the opportunity to provide further details on exactly how you are processing personal data. And the application is set up to do this so that you can actually record what you're doing for GDPR compliance, and then being able to demonstrate this in a report at the end, which I'll come on to shortly. So each of the sections are set up in a certain way, in a similar way rather. So you just need to go through, answer the questions, and the progress bar you see at the top here will actually be driven by the recommended actions below as well. Within each section, we'll also provide links to templates which you can download and fill in. So, for example, if we go to privacy policies and notices, you'll see that we've provided some example templates that you could add on your website and share internally too. Now, there is a lot to cover in GDPR, as you can see here, and as you're most likely aware. Now, we recommend that you step through the tracker step by step rather than fill in what applies to you. The tracker is also designed to be as a working tool, so once it has been filled in, although you may be 100% compliant today, it's ensure you keep it up to date. So if you introduce new processes or marketing activities, for example, that impact personal data, it's important to go back and keep it up to date as well. If we go to the document section, this is where you can actually access all of our templates, and any documents you upload within the various sections of the tracker, you'll be able to see them here too. In the reports section, this is where you'll be able to download essentially the tracker in a PDF format. So if someone ever asked you, what have you done to become GDPR compliant, you can download a PDF report as well. So if we just do that here quickly, you'll see that's created a downloadable version. So we'll hit download, and you'll see it's provided a PDF version of it as well. So it's a really good and quick and easy way to show to people, look, this is what we have done to become compliant if questions are ever asked. As you update the tracker again, you can generate a new report, which we'll do quickly just to show. It'll create a new version of it as well. So over time, you can see what changes you have made to your GDPR implementation. Another sort of feature we've got in the solution is the ability to manage tasks within the tracker. So for the initial sort of setup of your GDPR compliance, it's going to take some time to become GDPR compliant. I mean, it depends on the size of your business and how you process personal data, but you'll have the ability to create tasks within here. So, for example, we could say remind me to create privacy policy, You can add some example notes if you wish to. The section's already pre-populated, so you can actually already see the section it's linked to, the due date. So give yourself a date to remember, due by, and if it's going to repeat or not. So if you click save, this will actually now give you a task that will prompt you that you need to do something for this section in order to complete it. And this sort of task feature is actually in all the sections as well. So as you'll see here, if you go back to the tasks section again, you'll actually see all your tasks here that you started and due. One thing which we've added very recently is suggested tasks. So a lot of people aren't really sure around what they need to do to manage ongoing GDPR compliance. So we've added some tasks that will help you manage compliance on a monthly basis, ideally, or quarterly or yearly, just to take a proactive approach to manage GDPR. So we definitely advise that once you are compliant, is you keep on top of it on a monthly basis, as opposed to getting it done and then reviewing it again in 12 months' time and then going back. So it's definitely taking a proactive approach to doing it and changing attitude towards it as well. The next section is we've got a risk log. So as with GDPR, depending on obviously how you process personal data, there will be ways, or there will be risks and issues associated with it, which is important to monitor as well. You could also log breaches too, which we'll come on to. So creating a new risk is really simple. You can obviously select the type of risk it is, the rating, status, so select open, the likelihood that it will occur into an issue, the impact, date logged, so we'll just put a date, nominal date, that's reviewed, select onus, select a user, this is a high risk, click add, and what you'll do, this risk has now been logged. So you can actually go in and update the risk and mark it as complete when it has been done as well. So as mentioned earlier, you could also log breaches. So if a breach does occur within your company, it's important to not only log it but then notify your local data protection authority. So in our case, it's going to be the ICO. So to log a breach, you can select add the date, add how many people you feel it's been affected. So we'll just put 1 for now. The nature, so exactly what has happened. So if we put lost in transit, the laptop left on a train. How did you become aware? So reported by an employee. Description, so what personal data would they have access to? So we could put names, email addresses, phone. Consequences, so it means loss of personal data. Individuals informed, so it's important that you actually notify the individuals of the breach, whoever it gets impacted. So what you're going to do next time, so I think it's to ensure that take care with company equipment, and then you can just put yes or no. You can put yes or no, and then you could also specify when you've actually notified your data protection authority. Click save. So this will just be a very simple way to manage breaches within your company. The next section is SAR requests. So subject access request now is where people can openly and easily go to any business that they feel has personal data and request what you've got on them. So in the old Data Protection Act within the UK, companies could charge for this, and within GDPR, you're not allowed to charge for it now unless it's an unreasonable request or a number of requests as well. So there's two parts to this. So within the tracker, you'll also get given a unique form with your business, which you can actually add to your website or or give to people that are requesting to want to request a SAR. And this form looks like this. So it's really simple. You can brand it with your own company name. So if we'll just put Mr. Tash Mystery, email to upload, put some contact details there, a name, can put processing information. Right. What you'll also do is you'll be given the option to upload a file so that can prove their identity. So if we just go to desktop and we will just pick any image for now. So this could be the form of ID, passport. We'll actually store that on file for the duration of the SAR request and then actually remove it within a few months as well, but we'll come on to that shortly. Submit. So once the SAR request has been submitted, you'll receive a notification say that SAR has been received. And basically you have got from 30 days from that request to submit it, and then the GDPR tracker will actually remind you that it is due if you haven't done it. So if we click view, see the SAR request has come through. So the first thing to do is actually verify the identity, which you can do here. So this is to ensure that the person actually requesting the data is actually who they say they are as well. So you click verify. And then what you need to do then basically is set it to in progress. So this is where you're actually going to action the SAR, go away and look at what personal data they're requesting and how you're going to retrieve it. And we've got some notes on basically for a checklist, if you like, in terms of what they on what you need to do it. And typically you want to try and deliver the SAR request to them in the format received. So in this case, email would be sufficient. Once that's done, you can actually complete the request and then also make notes as well. So you may want to, it may not be straightforward to get all the data in one go, so you may need 2 or 3 attempts to do it or delegate accordingly. Complete request, once done. And then what you'll do is you'll actually see within here that this SAR request has come through. This is actually a reference number, and this is actually a way to manage them. Just go on to DPIAs now. So data protection impact assessment. So there's, whenever you're introducing a new process or system, you need to be able to assess kind of the impact it will have on your organization in terms of personal data. So it's, I guess it all depends on obviously what's the worst case scenario that could happen. So the good example is you're taking on a marketing agency to do email marketing campaigns. So as a result, they're going to have to get access to your personal data and other solutions too. So the DPIA process is there just for you to assess, and if it's also an acceptable risk too. So to kind of start a DPIA, you click on Start New DPIA. And it's going to go through a series of questions that will allow you to really assess the risks of it. So we'll just go through this quickly because it will take you a few attempts to do it. Test. It'll ask obviously sort of personal data being processed and why. So there could be a business reason. The lawful basis as well, so aligned with GDPR in terms of why are you having to do it. So this fits around the lawful basis of processing. Information flows. So when it comes to personal data, how is it enter into your company? How is it processed? Where is it stored? Who's it shared with? So it's important just to list exactly the flows of the data when they come in, so you can actually demonstrate data, how it comes in, how it leaves your organization too. Consultation requirements. So this is another one where you may want to confer with an internal team around this, or even external agency or consultant around it. So just to get some advice on this sort of DPIA request, and is it going to be viable, or what are the other risks? You can actually add to your privacy risks. They're very similar to the risk log. You can actually add a risk to it and track them accordingly. And actions too. once you've done your actions and you're you're ready to complete the DPIA, the last step effectively is just going to be to sign up the DPIA and mark it as complete as well. So moving on to the data map. So I think when you're first implementing GDPR for the first time, I think it's important. One of the things you should do is be fully comfortable that you know how the data comes in and out of your business, who has access to it, and where is it stored. I think this will allow you to really tighten down on GDPR and kind of tighten up exactly what you need to do in terms of your business or where the holes may be. I think also if anyone ever challenges your processes, you have actually got access to demonstrate this is actually what happens. So today, if you go to add, and I'd actually create a new entry for every process you've got. So if we take, for example, collecting email subscribers from your sign up form, so the source could be email sign up form from website. If you can specify a particular page. What personal data do you capturing? So this could be name, email. Why do you do it? So you're collecting it basically to market to them or send them something or to get in touch even. So in this example, we'll put a marketing weekly newsletter. Obviously, it's important that you have obtained consent and get that obtained. Handling. So how do you actually handle the data? So effectively, what in this example, if you're getting the email addresses in, so the emails will be collected via our website and stored within MailChimp, for argument's sake. So you've collected it, the data stored within MailChimp. You then intend to use that data to send weekly, use personal data to send weekly email campaigns. Two, you should only keep data for as long as you need it. So once you've done with it, so let's say they've opted out, you then just need to specify delete it. So you can say we'll delete it from MailChimp when no longer required. And then some final checkpoints. So if you've got consent, if it's over 18, you've confirmed, and some other options as well. Click save. And then what you should do is effectively just map this out for every sort of process that handles personal data. And finally, I just want to mention that we've got a notification system here. So when you get a new SAR request, when tasks are due, and some other outstanding actions associated to risks and DPIAs, they'll appear as well. So I think the whole point in designing the tracker is not only to get you compliant, but also to help you stay compliant too. So thanks for your time today. If you have any questions, please get in touch. And hopefully we'll see you soon on the GDPR Tracker platform.